Good morning to everyone on YouTube. We're going to be bringing in Periscope and Facebook Live here shortly. Let me know if everybody can hear me on YouTube. That would be great. Just want to make sure that we're all hearing what's being said today. Sometimes it's hard to get all of it working right at the same time, but we are hoping that YouTube Live works along with us today, as they usually do. Hey, Nikki, good to see you. Let me know if everybody over there can hear me very well, and I'm going to let in Periscope. Hey, Chrissy, and I'm going to be letting in Periscope and everybody else. Hey, Mike, good to see you. Okay, Periscope up, Facebook Live. Here we go. Good to see everybody this morning. Welcome, everybody. Hey, Teresa, good to see you. Amanda, good to see you. Please swipe and invite your followers. Robin, Shauna, good to see you. How is everybody? Good morning. Good morning. Michelle, good to see you again. Haven't seen you in a while. How's Canada? Oh, Canada. Everybody on Facebook Live, good morning to you. Please bring everybody in so we can get started. Got a lot to talk about today, as usual. So busy early. I didn't even see it, Shauna. I missed it totally. Hey, Carmen, good to see you. It's the Second Amendment. Cully, good to see you. Please, everybody, swipe and invite your followers. Rob, good to see you. Carrie, nice to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Thanks for inviting everybody. Hey, Huey, good to see you. Good morning from Texas. Just uploaded, no problem. All right. Carmen, good morning. Hello, everyone. How is everybody this morning? A lot to talk about. Bring your followers on in and we'll get started. Okay, thanks, Chrissy. In case I forget, I'll say Nikki. Okay, we'll have a deal over there. Traveling across Tennessee. Oh, very nice, Teresa. Blessed and I am fine, Amanda. Thank you. Hey, Tori, good to see you. Please swipe and invite and bring everybody in. Everybody on YouTube, if you would also share, and Facebook Live, if you would share also. Sunny South Florida. Thank goodness it's sunny in Florida today, right? And not raining. All right, I'd like to get started, and I want to start by reading Psalm 91. If everybody wants to follow along, that would be great. I think we need some prayer these days, probably now more than ever. So I want to start there. Oh, good morning from Vancouver, Canada. Good to see you. All right. He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress. My God, in Him I will trust. Surely he shall deliver you from the snare of the fowler and from the perilous pestilence. He shall cover you with His feathers, and under His wings you shall take refuge. His truth shall be your shield and buckler. You shall not be afraid of the terror by night, nor of the arrow that flies by day, nor of the pestilence that walks in darkness, nor of the destruction that lays waste at noonday. 1,000 may fall at your side, and 10,000 at your right hand, but it shall not come near you. Only with your eyes shall you look and see the reward of the wicked, because you have made the Lord, who is my refuge, even the Most High, your dwelling place. No evil shall befall you, nor shall any plague come near your dwelling. For He shall give His angels charge over you, to keep you in all your ways. In their hands they shall bear you up, lest you dash your foot against a stone. You shall tread upon the lion and the cobra, the young lion and the serpent you shall trample under foot. Because He has set His love upon me, therefore I will deliver him. I will set him on high, because he has known my name. He shall call upon me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. With long life I will satisfy him and show him my salvation. Whew. I think this morning, in prayers for the healing of Steve Scalise and others that were shot yesterday. Oh, you're welcome, Huey. I hope for their speedy recovery. Yes, right on time, Teresa. Right on time. Hey, Sally, good to see you. I do hope that I know our president went and saw Steve Scalise yesterday in the hospital. I know that he is in serious or critical condition, as they say. The bullet went to internal organs, and he's had some blood transfusions. Hey, Mark, good to see you. And it went through his pelvis and shattered some bones. So I know that he's going to have a long road to recovery, and they say that he is going to be needing more surgeries. Yes, so we hope he's going to make it. NC, I don't know. They're not saying anything about any difference other than the fact that he's needing surgeries, and he will get those surgeries upcoming. No one has said that he's not going to make it. In fact, yesterday they were saying that he was going to make it. So we'll have to see. Hey, good morning, Robin. How are you? But we'll need to keep praying for him. What are complications? I mean, I think the fact that it went to internal organs. Shauna saw something on Twitter. Trump is like vegetables. You may not like him, but he's good for you. Absolutely. I pray he makes it too. And I pray he has a full recovery. I can't even imagine how horrific this is going to be for him. Hey, Karen, if anybody in here, I've had broken bones before, and I can tell you, simple broken bones, you just wonder how you're going to recover, and it takes an incredibly long time. So I would imagine that he's looking at a really long recovery at this. So please, yeah, and the PTSD that goes along with that type of thing, and those people tonight, pray for them in this charity event. Every Yeah, he's had a lot of blood transfusions, Barbara. Anybody in this event tonight, this charity event, if you hear a noise that sounds like what you went through, that's going to be horrific on them. It's going to be a lot of stress. Just being in the place where yesterday that occurred is going to be a lot of stress. Wow, Cully, it is amazing that we talked about yesterday, and all the congressmen that were there, were coming out and talking about how people need to get together. And Cully is saying, he's still seeing people, hey, Laura, still seeing people talking in a pretty disgusting tone about Steve Scalise and what happened. I mean, it's pretty sad that we have gotten to this point in our country. Hey, Barbara, good to see you. It's going to be wonderful. They should raise a lot of money. Yeah, I hope so. I really do. I hope they get a lot more money this year than they ever did before. I know. I wish I were there. I'd go to the game. Amanda said praying blessings and safety over them in the event. Good morning, Marlene. Good to see you. Yeah, I think, yesterday Congressman Rodney Davis was trying to make the point, not so much to the Democrats in the government and other colleagues and congressmen and women, but he was trying to make the point that it's the media who a lot of times spurs this hatred along. They publish it. They are the ones that have the false reports and the fake news and saying, we get this from sources and things of that nature. I know hate is very common at this point, Teresa. It really is. I don't know make Jacob Morgan. No, I don't. Too much hate, absolutely. It is. And it just seems to be that people feel that it's okay to have that much hate, a lot of people. Yeah, Tillman, a lot of them are gang related. I know you follow that in Chicago. I think what we need to do is, I listened yesterday, and I didn't want to make any remarks yesterday, but it bothered me. Hey, Jennifer, good to see you. It bothered me how, let's say, Paul Ryan came out and said, whoever attacks one of us attacks all of us. And I get that, but what about the attack on the American people? This is more than just attacking a congressman. That's bad enough. But I should hear Paul Ryan coming out and saying, whoever is attacking America, whoever attacks our president, whoever does X, Y, and Z attacks all of us. Well, Cully, the thing of it is the person, the man, and I'm not even going to say his name, who shot the Congress people yesterday. He's the only person that's responsible for his actions. You can't blame anybody else for that. But what you can kind of blame is the media hyping things up, getting people upset. making this story about hate continuing to go on and on and on. This is what needs to stop. The rhetoric that we hear every day about, oh, if you take away Obamacare, basically people are going to die in the streets, and the Republicans hate us, and that's why they're trying to kill us. False stories, just to incite. That's what it does. We can blame hate politics for the shooting. Chrissy said, why is everyone saying that Trump should fire Mueller, even lawyers who should know the law? Um, well, we'll get to that in just a minute, Chrissy. And it is nonstop hate. And when you have Kathy Griffin coming out holding up the head of the bloodied head of the president, and having the play in New York assassinate a character that looks like Donald Trump. When you do things like that, you're saying pretty much that it's okay to hate, that it's okay to keep up this dissension in America, and it's not. Jennifer said, funny, everyone's blaming Trump, but it was Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders telling people to be part of the resistance and attack anyone who doesn't agree with them. And I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. Hey, Bill, and let's see, just because you don't like a news story doesn't make it fake. Oh, you went over to Lee Stranahan's a podcast, didn't you? Just a while ago, his Periscope. What is fake news is news like the Washington Post, what they came out with yesterday, what I have up on my, yeah, I know, Cully. Guns kill 93 million people every day, according to Governor McAuliffe in Virginia. So, yeah, I think somebody's better go back and look at his statistics a little bit more. I think he's gotten a few things wrong. I'm just saying. But if you look at the WAPO article that came out, go to SusanKnowles.com. Look at the article that I have up. Washington Post is either leaking news from Mueller's investigation, or they're publishing fake news. Take your choice. I know, Laura. Somebody had to say, excuse me, but don't you mean 93 a day? Yeah, I don't trust anything that Washington Post says. We'd all be dead in a few years. I know, Tillman. Maybe that's what they're hoping for. I'm not sure. Oh, my gosh. Hey, Kim, good to see you. Today or yesterday, I guess, late yesterday, the Washington Post came out and said, now it's really looking like they're going to go after Donald Trump for obstruction of justice. That we have Mueller now, who is calling in, like the director of the NSA, calling other high-level people in, and they're going to go after him tooth and nail for this. So, again, the Washington Post, what do? Officials say, unnamed sources say, this, that, and the other. What I want to know is a couple of things. Number one, if you have Mueller's office who's leaking information, my question is Mueller intentionally doing this? Is it the Democrat attorneys that gave to the Clinton Foundation? Are they the ones leaking to the Washington Post? Who's leaking? And if the leaking is occurring, if this is really occurring, we need to get rid of Mueller for that reason and for many, many more. Well, Robin, if Mueller can't fire, President Trump can't fire Mueller. The person that can get rid of Mueller is, in this case, the Deputy Attorney General, according to 28 CFR 600.7 in parentheses small d. And that's who has to do it. It is Deputy Attorney General Rosenstein. He's the one who appointed him. He's the one that needs to get rid of him. And he said he's not going to. And again, it's up to us, the American public. We have got to stand up. We have got to keep calling. Yes, President can fire Rosenstein. He can put his own, deputy AG in, and which is Christopher Wray, but how long is that going to take? And then it's going to look like, if he does that, it's another cover-up. That's exactly what they'll be saying. So we really are stuck between a rock and a hard place, really. We have to convince Rosenstein to get rid of Mueller. That's our one big thing. And the way that we can do that is everybody has to band together. Everything is a cover up. It's all a farce. It really is. And we, again, as conservatives, we sit here and we say, this is ridiculous. I mean, how many articles have I written about a conflict of interest, and on and on and on. And the president this morning, he tweeted out again, it is a game to them, Susan, and they want to just keep this game going because they just want us to lose seats in the 2018 and 2020 elections, and they hope that they can impeach this president. That's exactly what they're trying to do. President Trump tweeted out today, "You are witnessing the single greatest witch hunt in American political history, led by some very bad and conflicted people." And that's absolutely true. Because if you read my article, it goes on to talk about, and this was from the Washington Post, saying that if there was anything found regarding an obstruction of justice by this president, then it would need to go to Congress, and Congress would decide whether or not to impeach this president. Well, we have the majority rule in Congress, right? And if we did that, if we impeach our president, and with the people that we have like Ryan and McCain who are against this president, it's possible, but it would also devastate the Republican Party. So if that's what we're talking about, and that's something that is not really feasible, then why are we walking through all of this? We're doing it for political reasons, and that's it. And we have somebody who is absolutely, there's a conflict of interest. He in no way is independent. The people he's putting in there, the attorneys he's hiring to help him, are all donors of Hillary Clinton. If this were happening, if it was Republicans going after a Democrat under these same circumstances, the Democrats would be going crazy right now. And everybody knows that. I don't think they care, Ashley, that if Trump is impeached, that Pence will be president. They don't care. I know. Bye, Nate. Nate had to go. What they only thing that they want to do is that they want to impeach Donald Trump. They hate Donald Trump. They hate him because of many things, but probably most importantly is that he's draining the swamp, and he is somebody who is no one that they understand. They don't know how to get around him. They don't know what to do about him. He's impacting what they he's impacting what they do, because they don't let them they don't let them go to lobbyists anymore. They don't let them do any of that. And so he's a real pain for them. That's true. He was impeached on that, and he did stay in office. Asher said they will not stop it at Pence. Yeah, you're probably right, Asher. They'll just keep going. They want to get rid of the Republican Party. He's too honest and patriotic for them. He is. He loves America. He's doing good for America, and they don't like it because it makes them look bad. If he does all of this, and he can do this for the American public, it shows people that the Republicans can do a good job, and they don't want you to know that. Sally said back when we were talking about the deaths by gun deaths, she was saying 80 deaths per day in vehicle accidents, but we never talk about that. Yeah, he does love the United States of America, and they can't stand that because you know what? They don't love the United States of America. Hey, Tori, the elitists. Hey, Brad, good to see you. The elitists and the globalists do not love the United States of America. What they love is power, and that's what they're going for: power and control over you, me, and everything. They love their own money. They do. And Robin, again, they were. They're not allowed to do what they used to do with lobbyists and make all of that money and fill their pockets. Sally says she loves President Trump, and there's no reason not to love President Trump. Yeah, we are, we're being silenced. Yeah. Here's the thing that I really want to know. There was no obstruction of justice that Mueller was going after at all, right? None of the charges. And then we had this meeting with Comey, between Comey and Mueller. And Mueller got to hear what the testimony is going to be in regards to Comey, what Comey was going to say before the Senate. And so my question is this. When Mueller found out that Comey was not going to be able to say there was an obstruction of justice because he'd already told the president several times he was not under investigation, did Comey and Mueller then discuss how to bring about obstruction of justice charges against the president? Was that something that they had a meeting about? Well, Comey doesn't have immunity yet, that's for sure. They're actually trying to overthrow our government, Asher said. Pretty close, Asher, and very accurate. Comey's testimony was all about his feelings, his opinion, no facts, but there was no investigation. And now, all of a sudden, right after the Comey hearing, suddenly there's an investigation. And there's supposedly some conversation that took place between, let's say, Daniel Coates, who's the director of national intelligence, Mike Rogers, head of the NSA, Richard Leggett, and who's the Rogers' former deputy, regarding conversations that may have happened with Trump. Hey, Marguerite, there's no proof of anything. There's never been proof of anything. They're on a total witch hunt. The president is right. It is a total witch hunt. That's all it is. That's all it's ever been. There's not a shred of evidence on any of this. And yet we keep spending taxpayer dollars. And I don't know about you, but I mean, if we don't continue to call, if we don't have a group of people that continues to call and tells Mueller to get rid of Rosenstein to get rid of Mueller. Why I think they're the same, I keep calling them the same because it reminds me of they're on the same side. They really are. They want to get rid of this president. Yeah, I mean, this is crazy. And again, we should be calling Sessions' office and telling Session we want him to investigate Comey, Lynch, and Clinton. They are the same scum. I'm starting to really believe that. They really are. Trump could have just pardoned Flynn, so didn't even need to obstruct. Well, which is true, Kim. He can pardon anybody he wanted to. And did you notice in the hearing the other day with Sessions, that's why they asked him, have you had any conversations about a pardon? That's what they were getting to. They wanted to know, is he going to pardon Flynn? And, I mean, these people are just crazy. He can still pardon him, yes. I don't know if you can pardon somebody, though, if you've been impeached as the president. At this point, Shauna said, I mean, the case, they'll still want to make the case that there was obstruction of justice. Well, I wouldn't trust Rosenstein. Really, he's a holdover from Obama, although he did work under President Bush. What difference does it make? At this point, what difference does it make? Yeah. Republicans need to get as ruthless as the liberals, a.k.a. Democrats, Asher said. Yeah, I mean, why are we always on the defense? Why are we not now saying, let's start our own investigation. Let's get an independent counsel to look at all these things. That's where we should be at this point. We really should be, and we're not. And that hurts us each and every time. It hurts us. So, I think that, again, if the American public right now, I really feel we're the only ones that can stop this investigation with Mueller. We really are. And it would take a petition. It would take a ton of phone calls. It would take a ton of us speaking out. They're running out the clock. That's exactly what they're doing. And we don't even know. We have no idea that the information coming from the Washington Post is actually true. We don't know if the information was leaked from Mueller's office. We don't know because the Washington Post cannot be trusted. They really can't. Everything that they do is officials, unknown sources, anonymous sources, whatever. I mean, who knows? You just don't know anymore. And who would be truthful? Who would be the one to step up? Kim says, I don't even care if there's an investigation, but I want it to be fair. I don't want there to be an investigation. There's no reason for there to be an investigation. Kim says, I don't believe one word for them of them. Yeah, I don't either. We need to stop counterpunching them. We need to start counterpunching them. We do, Cully, and the way we do that is to start our own investigation and call for our own investigation for independent counsel. Get another independent counsel. This time, make sure it's somebody who is absolutely, no doubt, a Republican, and give them a taste of their own medicine. Let them see how it is to be on the defense. But you know what? We don't have strong leadership enough to be doing that. It's not going to be over. And see, it's going to be over when the American public makes it be over. Otherwise, it's going to keep going. It'll be 4 years, 8 years, whatever it takes. Tom from MySpace. Trey Gowdy is the only one. I don't know. Trey Gowdy, like I said, it was a little disappointment under Benghazi, but I give him benefit of the doubt because it was under Obama and there was nothing he was going to do. Who's in the hospital? Alicia? Huey, you're back. Trey Gowdy, what's he in the hospital for? I haven't heard that Trey Gowdy's in the hospital. Did anybody else hear that Trey Gowdy was in the hospital? I think that, Alicia, that, are you giving false information? Because Trey Gowdy wasn't there at yesterday on the baseball field. Well, then you need to. I have no idea what you're talking about unless you have sources. Let's give me some sources on Trey Gowdy. Not Gowdy. Gowdy was not there. Gowdy's a senator. That was all the House representatives there yesterday. So we've heard from Kamala Harris again. She's now trying to allege sexism because of the Sessions hearing in which she was told to allow the witness to speak. If you that I don't know why if you're spreading false news in here, please don't do that. If you have anything, if you have any information, put that up here, but don't be saying things that aren't true. She's trying to claim that Trey Gowdy was just shot, and I'm seeing absolutely nothing of that. And again, if you're spreading fake news, that's not appreciated. And if you have something, yeah, exactly. So I'm not sure why somebody would want to do that. So, yeah, exactly. So we have to say goodbye to Alicia because she's spreading fake news. So anyway, Kamala Harris tweeted out, "The women of the United States Senate will not be silenced when seeking the truth. Fight back." Yes, I know. Exactly, Shauna. Alicia was not key. CNN Alicia. Yeah, she hopped down. She was taking a break from CNN and decided to come over and spread some more fake news. Yeah. She can start her weekend early. Absolutely, Cully. Nothing like starting it on Thursday. Just check 0 followers and follows no one. Troll account. Yeah. She's troll accounts. I don't, again, I'm not sure why people love that so much. Looks like we have another one. What truth is Harris talking about? Well, see, Kamala is upset because she was made to stop talking when she asked Sessions a question. And before, what she was trying to do when Sessions would try to answer, she would continuously interrupt him. And so the chairman said, Senator, please allow the AG to respond to your questions. And she didn't like that because Kamala gets to do what Kamala wants to do because, see, she's going to be president in 2020, she thinks, and this is the way a president talks, that a president wants to get to the truth. So they berate Republicans. And when you come to a Democrat, you're very nice to them. That's Kamala Harris. She's very uppity, Barbara. I don't know why. She is a bully in a lot of respects, Marlene. She's a joke, yes. Uh, exactly, Cully. They hoped she would shut up, and she didn't. I know, Kim. She made herself look like a yes. she, yeah, and what they want to do is that they want to make it about she does and her followers want to make it about sexism because it's the war on women. That's the type thing. That's the only thing that they have. She is seeking a run for POTUS in 2020. Yes, Asher, she is. Hey, Nancy, good to see you. She came. Let's see. Oh, sorry, I couldn't. I won't repeat that, Asher. I won't repeat that. People on YouTube are getting a little saucy there. um, yeah, but she has some issues. She's pulling the race, gender card, and anything else she can. Thank you, Nancy. She's all about sanctuary cities. She wants California to be a sanctuary state. Yeah, Maxine. Maxine has so much class. She is a class act. Emphasis on the act. Um, didn't work for Hill. Why would it work for Hartis? I don't know who you're talking about. Uh, okay. So now, did anybody hear? Well, let's say some more of the news that was coming in from yesterday. Good morning, Nancy. How are you? Maxine just needs to retire. Thank you, Cully. I like where you put that hyphen in class. That describes her very well. She's an aggressive agitator. Nancy, I'm not even sure Maxine knows that she's an aggressive or an agitator. I'm not even sure she knows where she's at most of the time. I know. Wouldn't you like to see that? I'd like to see Kamala Harris and Judge Janine go one-on-one. I would love that. Well, Nancy, you got to do what you got to do. Maxine doesn't know much. Yeah. Okay, so yesterday, let me just follow up a little bit on yesterday and what happened. Um, hey, how are you? Good to see you, Danielle. Uh, the union official that went into a UPS yesterday, uh, they said the gunman's name was 38-year-old Jimmy Lamb. He killed 3 coworkers and then himself, and he had filed an overtime grievance. Yeah, I know. Thank God for Maxine told us about the Russian invasion in no, it was North Korea instead of Crimea. Yeah. Yeah, and there's probably going to be an announcement, I would say, coming soon. And maybe it was going to be yesterday, but I think that because of the shooting that got waylaid. But it seems like that Sarah Sanders, Huckabee Sanders, is probably going to take over for Sean Spicer on the pressers. Hey, Robert, good to see you. And he is going to be, he's actually getting a promotion, but kind of more behind the scenes, more as the communications director. So I really do wish that it would have been someone else. I mean, Sarah Huckabee does okay, but I'm not like, woohoo, you know. She's maybe sometimes better than Sean Spicer, but I really would have loved to have seen someone different, maybe Laura Ingram. I mean, welcome to anything to get him out. Yeah, yeah. Don't as he doesn't like her. Yeah, I mean, she's just. I don't think they've picked very strong people for that position, and I think you need somebody extremely strong. I like Spicer too, Barbara. I just wish Spicer would handle them a little bit better at times, and that's it. It's never been an esteemed position, unless you're under Obama, then you don't have to do much. Yeah, I like Laura Ingram too. Ingram wanted a higher profile job, probably. Laura Ingram is a good one. Asher said, "No, Don, it's not clothes wars. It's about the person and their qualifications." Hey, JPG, good to see you. White House press corps is not asking relevant questions anyhow. Well, I think they don't have any relevant questions to ask. Having Trump for press is like playing country music backwards. You get your horse, your job, and your country back. Yeah, so I mean, I would think that announcement would be coming up. They were going to have her on Fox News, I guess, yesterday, but because of the event of yesterday, everything got canceled. And some other news. Hey, Ellen, good to see you. Some other news. Putin has actually. Let's see, I just tried to say Sarah is Spicer with boobs and Periscope kicked me off. Oh my gosh, Kim. They are starting investigation. Yeah, yeah, I know. We were talking about that, Danielle. Did you hear if the executive from Tyson lived after being shot yesterday? I can't find anything. I just know that three people died yesterday, and I think the fourth one was the shooter. I don't know exactly who they are. Hey, Jamie, good to see you. I know. And it's funny because, Barbara, that's the word, but everybody says that over and over, show feet, show this and that, and that seems to be okay for everyone else. So again, Putin has offered Comey a political asylum in Russia should the heat get turned up too much on him. So I guess what we should do now is start a Russian investigation on Comey because it seems to me that there may be a connection there between Comey and Russia. I mean, after all, if you get Putin coming out, I know, Jamie, show news. If you get Putin coming out and saying, we're going to give you asylum, maybe there's a little bit more connection there. Hey, Debbie, good to see you. Yeah, it is weird, NC. Uh, oh, your internet keeps going out there. Sorry, Jennifer. Fake report about Travis Air Force Base yesterday. Yeah, that I saw that. It was on lockdown and nobody knew about what that was. It turned out to be nothing. Comey in Russia. Comey in Russia. Putin is laughing so hard we are becoming a joke. Yep. I know. He was saying, like if Snowden did it, then we should also do it for Comey. So maybe Comey will need it after if we decide to go after him in some type of investigation, which right now it doesn't seem like we're doing any of that. So it's like the left are even more wild now. They have no remorse. It's true. Sid Mueller too. Yeah. Well, it would be great if Putin came out and said, "Yes, we've talked to Mueller a lot, and we really like him, and we'd like to welcome him home." Who is leaking to WAPO about Mueller investigation? Nancy asked. Well, Nancy, I wrote in my article today on SusanKnowles.com about this. I think probably uh, two things. One, the attorneys that Mueller hired, who are donors to Hillary Clinton's campaign, from what I understand, they could be leaking, or it could absolutely be a fake news because after all, it is from the Washington Post. So most of it, you can't really rely on them anyway. Hey, Karen, good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. Hey, Nina, good to see you. Good morning. So, you have to take everything that you see from Washington Post and the New York Times with a grain of salt. They just make stuff up. Yeah, Jamie, I guess he was talking about jobs and all that. So good speech, I'm sure. He's getting back to business. Hey, Monica, good to see you. Jay Sekulow was fired up about it last night on Hannity. Yes. Jay Sekulow is on the team now to protect Trump with all of this that's going on in this quote unquote investigation. Thank you, Nancy. I try. I really do. I missed Hannity last night. Yeah, Hannity's been almost like every single night. Hey, Robert, good to see you. And talking about this investigation, and he just keeps the heat on, which is I'm really glad that he does that. Nancy and Nancy. Now there's some more information. I just want to tell you some of the breaking news that came out in Somalia. There was an attack last night in a restaurant. There were 31 people. 31 people were killed last night in an attack by Al Shabaab in Somalia. And we're really not hearing anything on the news about that. But I did want to let you know. Yeah, I know. 31 people, and we don't really get to hear anything about that. But don't worry, there's nothing to worry here about any of that, right? I know, Kim. Yeah, the only Nancy we don't allow in this scope is Nancy Pelosi. Yeah, it is pretty incredibly bad. 31 people. And remember yesterday in talking about with the congressman, uh, if that shooter had been able to get inside that fence, those people there would have been a shooting duck, or sitting ducks. He would have shot probably every single one of them. There were, according to one senator, maybe like 25 people that were in the dugout. Don says flush Somalia, wasted 13 special operators there already. Yeah, so, again, and then one of the congressmen I like to see saying from now on he's going to be carrying in his pocket. So that's good. Thank God that didn't happen. I know, Amanda. I mean, I can't even imagine how horrific. The video with the gunshots were unreal. Jamie said, yeah, they were. Uh, well, Barbara, Nancy Pelosi came out yesterday and said, I used to pray for President Obama, and I pray every night for President Trump. Okay. I'm supposed to believe that every night you pray for President Trump, and then every day you pray for his impeachment, and you talk about it all day long. Nancy is nuts. I think so. Asher said there was a Tyson exec shot yesterday, 2 times in the chest, the ball field. He was one shot first. I think he may have passed away, Asher. I'm not sure, but I think he may have. She prays every night for President Trump to be impeached. Exactly, Kim. Prays for Bush. Curse him, maybe, but not pray. Exactly, Nina. She doesn't know who she prays for. Nancy is, I think people Nancy's Catholic, and I think some of the Catholics are wondering why she hasn't been excommunicated in her views on abortion and her views on everything and the way she's acting. So, and Harry Reid too. So I'm not really sure. Maybe they're big donors or something. I have big donors to the Catholic Church. She is the Grinch. Yeah. Oh, you're Nancy. Meet Nancy, who's also Catholic. The Pope doesn't care. Well, somebody in the Catholic diocese somewhere should care, but it probably will never happen. Also, uh, there was a 6.9 earthquake in Guatemala, and 5 people died during that earthquake. They probably, yeah, you're probably right, Amanda. They probably don't donate that much. Wow. So Patrick is saying Fox reported the jury's in deadlock over Bill Cosby case. Yeah, that's going to be hard, sitting there in the jury. That is a pretty huge earthquake, and apparently, I'm not sure. I don't know if something fell over on the individuals and killed them. I don't know. God be with those people in Guatemala, Asher said. Absolutely. Yeah, I think people are going to have a hard time with Bill Cosby. Okay, Robin, thank you for coming in. Have a great day. Please retweet. They have a volcano there. Pope's got a wall and a treasury. Good times in the Vatican. Marxism pays, Don said. Judge ordered them to try again. Yeah, wow, that's going to be amazing. Jennifer said that Nancy Pelosi must be atheist and must be praying to Satan. Could possibly be. I have no idea about Nancy. Hey, Gordon, good to see you. We can only hope that she finds her way out of the darkness. All right, Callie, thanks so much for coming in. Have a great day. See you soon. My concern is there is a violent storm brewing from MSM. Well, Nancy, I think there's been a violent storm that has been going on. We're just now realizing how bad it is. I think it's been going on all along for this president, not, of course, for the last administration. So, it's pretty violent now, yes. My thoughts on Otto. Yeah, did anybody see this morning the press conference with the father of Otto? That's the student that was held in North Korea, and they're saying he suffered severe neurological injury. That's what the prognosis is right now and the diagnosis. And apparently he's still in a coma, and yeah, it does break your heart. Yeah, I don't know, Kim, if he's brain dead or not. There, it's trauma. Yeah, and of course yeah, is he expected to have brain damage? Well, they're saying severe neurological injury. So I think later on today they're going to be talking about it more. Hey, Gina, good to see you. Don't give up hope. Absolutely. I believe in miracles as well, Nancy. Doctors will talk today on TV. Yes, Kim, that's true. I bet he was beaten. I bet he was too, Gordon. I bet he was too. I mean, I don't believe this story about, oh, he had botulism and then he took a sleeping pill and he went into a coma. You mean North Korea, Carmen? You're saying China, but I think you mean North Korea. Aw. All right, Barbara, have fun with your granddaughter. They will see all this broken ones everywhere. Kim said, yes. Either by the regime or by other prisoners, or both, Gordon. I believe he was beaten as well. Bacterial infections are like that, Don said. Remember Harry Reid when confronted with his lying about Romney? We won, didn't we? Yeah, exactly. He's a vegetable. It sounds like, without a doubt. Kim said, "Yeah, it's hard to say. Like I said, I think the doctors are going to be talking about it a little bit more today. He was beaten pretty bad. Agreed." Jamie says, "I believe that he was. I mean, North Korea, they don't treat you very well." Kim said, "Press one if you think he wasn't beaten." So Amanda, you don't think that he was beaten? So it's press one if you don't think he was beaten. Yeah, Asher said she pressed two. Yeah, I thought you did, Amanda. That's why I wanted to clarify, but I thought you did. We need to take out the leader of North Korea. They do beat you very well, though. Yeah, Gordon. I would say very definitely that's what happened. Well, I mean, how will you ever know? What witnesses are you going to have? Yeah, and also Kim, she was saying that the dad said he was here in spirit, but also I remember him saying Otto was. He didn't say Otto is. He said Otto was, and I do remember hearing that. We need to take out the leaders of the Democratic Party. Asher said we need to vote them out. If the swelling in the brain goes down, he may have a chance to come out of the coma. Yeah, yeah. So I mean, when somebody is talking about you know, and he was a great kid. He was this type personality. He was. He was. It's not. It doesn't sound too promising. Vote them out or impeach them. Yeah, yeah. I know, Kimmy, and supposedly again he's been in that coma since March. Whew. We do need to pray for a miracle. Yeah, they don't treat people well at all. They don't treat their own people well at all, Gordon, much less their prisoners, right? And then we have Dennis Rodman, who's over there just sort of having a great time with him. Assassinate another leader, slippery slope, Don said. Yeah, that it is going to take a miracle if Otto comes out of the coma, I think, and if he survives this. I really do think so. They haven't said if they were tube feeding him or not. Take all the inmates from this country, drop them off at the border, or have give the beatings. Rodman needs to stay there. Rodman trying to keep the peace, amazing. Not okay for Rodman to do that. I know. We have at least three other people there, according to some reports. Yeah, there are other university students or other students. I'm assuming university students that are there as well. What's their treatment? Uh, what are they doing? Rodman and President Trump are friends. Gina said. You wonder. I mean, friends in terms of just acquaintances or close friends, or what's that? Dad didn't want to talk about Rodman exactly. The thing that bothers me about Rodman, if he's going over there to do good, I mean, I don't know that he is. Our government says that it was Tillerson that got Otto out, and it was Tillerson who did all of this work. Um, but I just think, Rodman sitting there, sort of, sitting there with his cigar and holding, giving the hand signals or whatever to the leader in North Korea, just kind of like they're brothers or something. It bothers me. Yeah, and I don't know if you heard that Otto's father was talking about how um, President Obama didn't want Otto's family to say anything. They just said, kind of stay low key, stay out of everything, and we'll try to, you know, he didn't say we'll try to do anything, but he said, you don't want to make North Korea mad, essentially. And so they sat there and they did nothing. And then they found out that their son was being treated like a prisoner, somebody, a true prisoner of war. And they said, we're not going to stay silent any longer. And then they go to President Trump and ask for help. And these people went to everybody. I mean, he named off a litany of congressmen, congresswomen, news media, on and on and on, president, anywhere. Nobody would help them. And until President Trump came along. And now look, Tillerson got his son released very quickly. So, did Obama want to do anything? I say no. You sit there and you tell them to be quiet because you don't want to upset North Korea. And so he let it go. He wasn't going to worry about one guy, right? Obviously. And so it took President Trump to get him out. And those still, did anybody on the left say, thank you, President Trump, for doing that? Thank you, Tillerson, who was part of the Trump administration. Thank you for doing that. Not one single person on the left. Yeah, exactly. Obama didn't do anything because it wasn't for his benefit. What benefit would that have been for him? He was too busy with his Iran nuclear agreements to worry about one kid that was sitting over in North Korea. Asher said this is ridiculous. Another proof that Obama is a weakling. Yes. The president called out his family. Yes. If Rodman is really helping, then other two will be released. Exactly, Nancy. He would have had to be tough. He doesn't have it in him, meaning Obama. Not concerned, no compassion, Kim said. God bless our President Trump. Absolutely, Carmen. Obama was busy setting up a Marxist regime here in the United States, now staging a coup, Asher said. We still haven't gotten our POWs back from the Korean War. And we never will, Don, I'm sure. If you said anything about the other three Americans, yeah, I did talk about them, Gina. I don't know who they are, but we were talking about that there are other people. Sorry, Nancy. Glad you're back. Hey, Kim. Yeah, I mean, it's really sad to think that, something could have been done. Obama could have done something to get Otto out, and he didn't do anything. And the kid just sat there, in a coma all that time. Yeah, I know, Kim. It doesn't really kick me out too much anymore. I do it on a device that it doesn't usually kick me out on. I don't know. Also, in other news, if you heard that there have been 7 killed and 66 injured after an explosion near a kindergarten in eastern China. So China's having some difficulties on their own. Of their own, they don't know who did it. News is coming out of there pretty sketchy. And a lot of times China doesn't want to tell you what's happening. So I don't know if we're going to be hearing exactly what happened or not. Don't go to communist countries, yes. Can't imagine what they lived through. At least they have his body. Yeah, that's true, Kim. And that is something. Don't go to a communist country. Yeah, Nancy, that was in eastern China this morning, right in front of a kindergarten. 7 killed. Among them are children, I believe, and 66 injured are children as well. I don't think so, Nancy. I don't think the kids are okay. People don't do forget China is communist. Yeah, I know. I know. They don't really tell us much. I'm interested what the rollbacks are going to be on Cuba today. Don't like leaving Florida. I know, Tillman. Um, yeah, I don't know what President Trump is going to do about Cuba. Uh, Kim, what we were talking about, there was an explosion in eastern China. where 7 people were killed and 66 were injured. It was in front of the gate of the kindergarten. So probably not too good. Zoned out for a second. I was wondering, Kim, what you were talking about. I wasn't going to go there, but I was wondering what you were talking about. And we have just a few minutes left, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit more, about the vitriol, the hate that's coming from the left. Um, and we talked about this yesterday, but as the media talks about things, keep this in your mind about what continues to go on about our president. Yesterday, I think at the very end, I talked to you about a New York City congressman who was on the House floor recently, and he said that every racist in America voted for Donald Trump. Hakeem Jeffries, a Democrat who represents East New York and Coney Island, said, so many folks dripping in hatred flocked to his candidacy. Why would people that worship at the altar of white supremacy be drawn to Donald Trump's campaign? That's not to say that every American who voted for Donald Trump is a racist. We do know that every racist in America voted for Donald Trump, Jeffrey said. That's a problem. He said Trump's election is a backlash against 8 years of progress in America. So when you have that type of vitriol that keeps going on and on and on, yes, Hakeem Jeffries, that's right, Carmen. Yep, it makes you angry, and then they sit there and they can't understand why this goes on, and they sit there yesterday, and you even hear the media saying, "Well, you get this on both sides." I'm sorry, the Republicans aren't holding up the severed head with bloody severed head. They're not the ones that are doing that. They're not the ones that are having the play of Julius Caesar and assassinating the main character who looks like Donald Trump. Sorry, you may want to say that, but it's not true. Democrats are the party of the KKK, so it takes a racist to know a racist. Well, Nancy, I'm telling you, carry a rebel flag and have never been accused of being a racist. Carmen said that's because you live where you live. We're also not the ones trying to keep minorities dependent on the government. Very true. I know, Amanda, I don't know anything about this man. We believe minorities are capable of more than Democrats. Yeah, we always have, Kim. We've been the party that always supported the minorities and tried to lift them up. The Democrats have never been the party to do that. Well, Kim, you could just go back and watch the replay. That'll help too. Yeah, exactly, Kim. They like to accuse us of being the racist. Another thing, too, I wanted to tell you in other news because it's happened a couple days ago and well, yesterday, the day before. President Trump has appointed John McCain's wife to become ambassador. She's become an advocate against sex trafficking in recent years and is the co-chair of the Arizona Human Trafficking Council, which works with the state to end trafficking through training, outreach, and awareness activities, as well as advocating for victim services improvements. So I guess he's been looking to try to get her on as an ambassador for a long time. He did, yep. And John McCain's wife is now going to be an ambassador. Yes, John McCain needs to retire. I know, but I guess in some ways you don't want to look at one person just because they're married doesn't mean that they're like their husband or wife. Like we trust her. I know. And if it has, things to do with sex trafficking, that's a good thing. Yeah, she's an ambassador. That's not going to be that much that she can do. Not that much harm. Keep your friends close and your enemies closer. Yeah, maybe he's thinking long term like that. Who knows? All right, you guys. I want to. I guess old man McCain something else to focus on. Hey, Jamie, good to see you. We're just finishing up here. If everybody on Facebook Live would please just go ahead and share this. Thank you, everybody on Periscope today. Thank you, thank you, thank you, everybody, for coming in and inviting your followers. If you could please retweet this to everyone, I would really appreciate it. Appreciate so much your support. Just getting coffee there, Robert. Okay, sounds good. Thank you so much. And, just keep praying for our country, keep praying for our president, keep praying for each other. Keep also praying for Steve Scalise that his injuries would heal and that he would be 100%. Thank you guys so much. I will talk to you soon. God bless you and take care. And everybody on YouTube, thank you so much for coming in today. And if you would, please give me a thumbs up and share this with everybody. I would really appreciate it. Take care. We'll see you again tomorrow.